Okay, hello everyone. How are my obscure scholars? I think that's what one last string doing. Welcome to the string sun. Welcome Kodokunasu, and welcome Evil Bookman. Unfortunately, once again, I'm not late because of my own decisions. It's mostly because of me having a lot to do, including now. So if you guys will excuse me, I know that this is kind of boring, and I apologize. But we're going to start the string with a bit of talk as I solve some things. I'll think about this later. So let's get to some topics, okay? Okay. I remember this because a lot of people have been saying "Oh, you're a woke lolicon. You only criticize men and are all about all these all about you get the point. So let's talk about some really stupid story involving a girl I knew in high school. Okay, let's start with that to counter the woke lolicon accusations. So there was this girl. I didn't like her in any way, right? She was a friend of a friend that I hung out with because is that kind of person that you endure because of someone else, you know? And I don't think anything about her illustrates why better than a conversation that we had with her, where she was saying oh, all these men nowadays are such pussies. They are too afraid to approach a woman. If I was a man, I'd be getting so much pussy, dude. You don't even know. This is weird. And keep in mind that this girl was short, fat, and ugly. Okay. So when she said that, I kind of had to hold back my laughter because if I didn't, I just have gone off on her. Girl, what I wanted to say to her is girl, if you should be thanking your lucky stars that you were born a woman. Because if you were a man, if you were actually a man, what would be happening is that you would be in one of those incel subreddits talking about how women should see you for who you really are, that kind of shit. Because unfortunately, it's not just a situation with her, you know. You see that a lot of women have this idea that, oh no, men are such pussies. If I were a man, and it's the kind of woman that if you just change nothing about them, their appearance, their personality and attitude, and just turn them into a man, they would be the most loser type of man possible, you know? It's genuinely hilarious to see this kind of thing sometimes. What else? What else? Okay, and to keep on this like chat talk, you know, um, like it's interesting to notice like how media changes its approach to things when like they're talking about things that a man is doing versus things that women are doing. Because if you guys don't know, uh, despite how much this is generally like associated with men and like their fantasies and all, actually more women are like interested in AI romance than men. It's way more of a problem for them, right? But like in every art, and like I think that the way the media tackles it, in a way, is somewhat like responsible, right? Because every time you see this kind of topic talked about in like the media, when it's a man, it's oh the dangerous rise of AI girlfriends and how they're affecting a man's perception of woman. And whatever it's like the opposite, when it's a woman, like they're always like, oh, the liberation of having an AI boyfriend or stuff like that, you know. So it's just interesting, not only the different treatment that it gets, but the kinds of effects it's been having. Because you see more and more women with some really awful ideas about men and like some really genuinely unrealistic expectations, and none of it gets called out. While the men obviously always called out, right? And it's interesting to see again the various effects this has. But what do you guys think? But the reason why I don't just talk about the bad things that like women do, right? Like pulling it back a bit, like the reason why I don't just talk about the bad things that women do and like don't just turn this into a full-on like chat channel, right? It's because like we discussed in a lot of ways, like there are plenty of awful things that that men like say and think as well. Like the reason I'm not a full-on like misogynist is simply because I've seen like both like sexes, right? Um, engage in some really awful behavior, you know, say some really awful things, which is why I generally call out guys, you know. It's not that I don't have a lot of things to say about girls, but it's kind of the reason why I not a full-on misogynist. It's just because I've seen bad things from pretty much everyone. Okay, let me see. OA is dork Maxi. Never mind, not a dork. OA, she deserves to be choked and handled. Bro, my family is being too stereotypical right now. I'm going to... Jesus Christ. Welcome to the String Arma and Critical Kresnik. Welcome, welcome. Women imagine themselves being hot as dudes. They are mitty and normie at best. Though to be fair, good traits on a woman isn't the same for a dude. Did she take into consideration that men often just are told not to approach women because many of them declare being uncomfortable being approached by a stranger? Again, like, they don't take that into consideration because this is a thing for, like, everyone, unfortunately. Like, it's very hard to actually put yourself in someone else's shoes. Like, it is something that you need to consciously do, you know? Like, people talk about things like, oh, having empathy, you need to have empathy, but genuinely is not that easy. Like, you kinda need to put like a genuine and like focused effort into doing that. Now that you bring it up, Nasu, if you remember that story I told you guys, applies here just to why dudes don't approach her. AI romance, oxymoron, bro. Anyway. The eternal Dumbo standard is always formless. Men are called out for having unrealistic expectations, even if they do not. I met a full-on lesbian, but she was into fictional men, and when I heard her explanation, shit was surreal. I mean, to be fair, like, this relates to something else I want to talk about, which is that, if you guys know the VTuber Leaflet, right? A very political VTuber, I know, but like we're not here to talk about her politics or whatever. It's just that I found it funny because she said that the only reason I'm not into women, the only reason I'm not bisexual is because like women are fucking annoying. Like I am actually attracted to their bodies and stuff. But like the reason why I don't like don't have an actual like attraction to women other than just the superficial levels because they're annoying. And like I heard that and I was like, damn, that's some weak shit, you know? Because I find women annoying too, doesn't mean I want to fuck them any less, you know? So yeah. just found that a bit funny. How's the Lone RPG video coming along, by the way? Just curious. Critical, I'm going to be honest with you, not very well. Because I keep saying, like, I'm having a lot of difficulties, like, balancing stuff. It's not that I, don't want to do it. Like, I still have the files of, like, the little I recorded. And I still want to do something with that. But, it's just that I have very little time to work on videos outside of stream. And I'm also very tired and stuff. So it all just culminates into, like, me having kind of put it to the side. I know that, like, I haven't abandoned the project because, like, I know that you specifically, like, paid a lot for it. And that a lot of people would like to see me talk about that game, but it's just been difficult to progress on that particular project with everything else going on, you know? But I'll not give up. One day you all see the fucking Lone RPG video. It's just, might take a while. AI is so damn annoying. I'm struggling to prevent my family members from humanizing AI and relying on it for everything. My mom quietly started calling AI models by he instead of it, and they keep acting like these like large language models have thoughts and emotions and stuff. To be fair, to humanize things that aren't human is a thing that we've been doing since forever. Like, with pets, for example, a lot of people don't call their pets it, even though it is the, like, proper pronoun. They call them he or she. The same thing with machines, too. Like, even before AIs, I saw some people refer to, like, boats or cars as woman. Or, like, a woman start to care for, like, a Roomba. As if it's actually an alive pet, you know? Like, genuinely, like, telling her husband, no, leave the poor guy to rest. Like, he's done enough for today, even though it's a fucking machine and it doesn't feel those things. You know? So, it's kind of a phenomena that, it's been going on for, like, longer than just this AI stuff. Both sexes have chuds, true and real. Women have some gnarly expectations for dudes. I don't hate it necessarily because I'm that type of dude, but I once saw something. A woman made a full video on how it's okay to have unrealistic expectations for men. But then, when her comment said it for women, she said it's damaging for women and misogynistic. The problem is that, like, there's a lot of misandry, right? Just ingrained in our everyday lives, you know? And it's that kind of thing that, like, a lot of people don't notice because it's become so, like, naturalized. Like, I noticed this, like, a lot of women can just be straight up misandrists, right? And nobody calls them out. Like, and I'm not talking about, like, internet stuff. I saw this, like, in my everyday life. Like, I got tired, like, after a while of just hearing women say, like, oh no, all men are the same, all men are terrible, blah 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 blah. And so I, when it didn't even have anything to do with me, but I just heard a woman saying, like, oh, fucking all men are like the same, and I just screamed back, all women too. And, like, everyone in the room was like, oh, no, obscure anime, you can't do that. Like, it's very normalized. Like, if you say something about, for example, men being better than women at something, the first response is, okay, what kind of, like, sexism is happening and how can we solve it? But when you say things about, like, woman being better at something, and again, I'm talking about regular everyday people, I'm not talking about, like, some internet freak, right? They'll just say, yeah, women are, like, better anyway, like, that's just normal. Like, when you start noticing this kind of thing that's been naturalized, it's a bit depressing, I'll be honest. Don't worry, bro, misogyny is inherently gay, the real kind, not the buzzword. Oh wait, to be honest, you don't need to give a fuck about this, I think. I haven't heard people accuse you of woke or whatever, but you should just say your opinions unfiltered. I do, it's mostly just a joke, you don't need to worry. By stereotypical, I'm dark. If you know the joke about black people being late, my grandma is being purposefully 3 hours late. Empathy is a buzzword now, and when I hear it, I assume if you say that word, you're not worthy of my time. There. Anyway, this was recent. I was surprised she was on that stream. Yeah, Leaflet's a little freaky. I used to like her more. Political VTuber Chaiti. The most misogynistic statement since the 1500s. But I figured that she channels the power of rage and wonder. She used to work at Riot. Yeah, that explains some things. I played Lone RPG demo a while ago and just got absolutely railed by everything. Yeah, it's a really hard game. Oh wait, are men less annoying? That's what I was saying, like, it's very much a thing of it can be or, like, it cannot be. It depends mostly on the person, yeah. Literally. Men are less annoying because you can beat the shit out of them. That's also a thing, like, and this is more, like, understandable since it's based on, like, more physical aspects. But, like, woman will be able to get away with stuff that a man would not, you know? And I'm not talking about sexual, like, for example, I'm not defending Ezra Miller, obviously, like, fuck that guy. But, like, there was a specific incident where I think it was emblematic of that. Where there was a female fan of his kind of rage baiting him, like saying, "Oh, you're so skinny. I bet even like as a woman I could beat you up." And then the dude just got tired and like socked her in the face, like he fucking folded her, right? And a lot of people were like, "Oh no, he went too far. He shouldn't have done that, etc." But then I imagine, like, if it was like a really weak man, like if a really weak man had done that same thing, right? Let's say that was a man that was just as strong, or I guess in this case, just as weak as that woman, and he was rage baiting like Ezra Miller. I don't know. I feel like people would have been more sympathetic to Ezra. That they would have been more like, "Oh, like yeah, fuck that guy," you know. And again, I'm not defending like violence or anything like that. Well, I am defending violence actually. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is against TOS or whatever, but I fully like support like folding rage baiters like lawn chairs. Like they doesn't matter the sex. They don't deserve sympathy. But anyway. Honestly, the game is so punishing, it kind of wraps around being boring. Like, one mistake in any context almost completely ruins any run. PC's constantly trying to kill you for seemingly no reason, etc. It's more of the kind of thing that, it's not that, at least to me, I don't think it makes it boring. It's just that it's one of those games like Fear and Hunger, where you can't just go in like balls deep, you know? You need to actually do your research before like playing that game, you know? So I do believe that is like that is okay. Like, it's not bad for the game to be like that. But yeah, I'm going to have to BRB a second. Also, welcome to the stream, Prin. Welcome. Okay. Okay. So, oh, hello, A Fisher. Welcome to the stream. How do I say this? Like, what we're going to be doing is we're going to actually start playing right now. But I'm going to start with the Shinobi Girl Hearts because, like, again, I want to talk about some more stuff, right? And, the Shinobi Girls Hearts have, like, less story, so I feel like it's a better platform to actually talk while I play. But anyway, humanization, personification, then. What did I miss? Oh, just us talking about, like, misandry and, like, a woman being bad. Not much, don't worry. Misandry isn't the same as misogyny. It's the biggest scope ever, like, holy shit. Makes me realize some people can think and deserve the right to be taken away. Then, my friend and Manny said this to me. I hate it. Like, sometimes realize these people were treated. Why these people? Okay, I'm not getting into that. I searched up Lona RPG, bro. I've seen it before. Oh wait, why are you actually playing actual bullshit? It's reasonable to do. Obscure nude, sir. Truly scholarly behavior. But yeah, let's finally get into the game. Yozakura, pay attention. If you move like that, I can easily cut you in half. Her ice sword dances in her hand as she keeps on giving me lessons. Ugh. I jump back and lose my balance. Her sword whistles past my ear, then cuts the ground. I fall on my butt. Yumi steps up over me. Kinky. If this were an actual fight, you would now be dead. You need to train harder. Hang on. This isn't fair. What do you mean? I'm a fist fighter. You got swords and everything. Of course I'm going to have trouble getting close enough to you. I mean, you really think someone cares? Like, you chose to, like, fight with your fists. You chose to bring fists to a knife fight. Like, I think you're in the wrong there, buddy. What's up? What's good, chat? And OA2, I guess. Welcome to the stream, Fish Show. Fuck you. It reminded me a few years ago I discovered a feminist organization in my country which unironically claims that sexism against men doesn't exist. That's a pretty, like, common belief, honestly. It's not even that surprising. Yumi snorts at my excuse. This is a life and death combat, not an after-school candle club. Always fair. True, nothing I can say to that. If you're not content with those gauntlets of yours, then switch them out for an Aginata or something else with reach. Yumi leaves. I stare her back, biting my lip. I have a lot of pride in my gauntlets. I don't want to toss them so easily. So all I can do is get better with them. I can't use their range as an excuse. I have to learn all their advantages and disadvantages. Then learn the same things for all the other weapons I will go up against. Then Yumi will call me a worthy opponent. There are plenty of people I can train with. Offhand, I know at least 5. Alright, time to learn how to take on anybody. To go to a less serious topic, do you have any characters that you really like and are really good playing with, but that they are like very much like low tiers? Well, not low tiers, like, but that they're very much like bad in lore. What I mean is that, for example, in Darkstalkers, right? There's this character named Felicia, right? In Darkstalkers, who is a cat girl. And I really like to play as her because she's very fast, you know? So I can combo with her in that fighting game really easily. But, like, in lore, she's very weak, you know? So, in gameplay, I'll be, like, destroying pretty much any opponent I go up against. I'll be fighting, like, fucking cosmic entities with Felicia. And, like, literally, like, perfect comboing them, right? But then you go to any type of like official material, right? And all Felicia does is get her ass kicked, you know? Because again, not only is Felicia very weak, but like cat girls and like Darkstalkers are canonically all very weak. So it's very sad whenever I'm looking at like anything official in regards to Darkstalkers, because I'm always seeing like Felicia lose to some of the like most generic threats ever. And like I have to be like, no, come on girl, I know you can do better than that. Like I know like that you're capable of more, you know? But and so it's just very, very sad because, again, I really like to play as Felicia. I'm really good as Felicia, or at least I like to think that I am, right? And just seeing her lose constantly because of lore is a bit frustrating, not gonna lie. Okay. Okay. Dmitry Maximov, the bimboficator himself. Yeah. It's one thing that like a lot of people say, right? That despite being like the face of the franchise, outside of just female characters being more popular, one of the reasons they don't like adapt Dmitry Maximov, which is like the main character, or at least the main face of Darkstalkers, to other games, even when like other characters are like adapted, is exactly because he has a special move that essentially turns all the female characters like even sexier and turns any male character into a woman. Because like in his own words, like it's too gay to like suck blood from like a man, because like he have to go and like get close to like a man's neck as another male like vampire, and so he turns people into women before sucking their blood, so it's not gay. Like that's the literal like explanation of it, right? And unfortunately, it's one of those abilities that kind of requires a 2D fighting game, because it's one of those things that is easier to do with sprites. Like imagine creating a whole bunch of like 3D models just for the purpose of this one attack, you know? So this is why he generally isn't adapted in collaborations and stuff. I don't play fighting games, that's fair. Can't go discrimination too real. It's called Midnight Bliss, exactly. Is he wrong, away? He's not wrong. Like, but the point here is that like, because of that move is why he's generally not adapted in collaborations. Because in 3D fighting games, it would be very difficult to implement him like faithfully, you know? So, not a bad ability, and like Apisha said, he's not wrong, but it has some unfortunate like consequences. I like Yosakura's ninja outfit. Modest costumes, like kimono being modified to show belly speak. True and real. In the same subject of god damn it. In that same subject of like more silly things, right? I had this idea for like a particular scene. It's not a story, it's just a scene that like I thought would be like interesting, right? Like, imagine this, a lizard folk and a human, like, there is this party. This, like, medieval party with, a lizard, man and, like, a human. And they're introducing themselves, and just as the, like, lizard man is about to go introduce himself, the human goes like, oh, this is like Markov. He's a lizard folk. You know? And you can see that the character like himself, that Markov, when he says that, gets really offended. But this isn't addressed for like a while. Like, it's just that they have this conversation. The human calls the lizard man a lizard folk. And he's very offended, but nothing comes of this. And then, like, I'm thinking, like, 5 chapters later or something, like, at least a good while later, they go to introduce themselves again, but this time, as the human goes to introduce himself, the lizard man starts and introduces him as, like, oh, this is James, part of the monkey folk, right? And then the human gets incredibly offended and calls him out like, hey, what the hell do you mean? Why do you call me monkey folk? And the lizard just references that conversation for like 5 chapters ago and is like, oh, it's not so nice when it's with you, huh? I don't know, I had this idea, I thought it was funny. God, I was bad on this one. Anyway. Honestly, I like it when girls with non-erotic personalities wear costumes that are really forced. Like, it's obvious that the costume is revealing just to be erotic and not for any practical reason. I don't have this kind of, what's the name of it? This kind of kink, you know? So, I get it, like, rationally, but I don't really understand. No, it's fine, Fisher. Like, obviously not all my ideas are going to be, like, bangers, right? So, like, it's fine to call them out and to be like, Oh no, this one is trash. Like, don't use it. Like, if I was not like looking for criticism or at least other opinions, I wouldn't share my opinions online. I'm here for that discussion, you know? Also, yuck. Who decided... One sec. Also, yuck. Who decided that a washboard transforming into balloons was okay? It's like a prank, $100 bill that turns out to be a church advertising. Yeah, yeah. Actually, this is something that we're going to see in her story, actually. That she only transforms into her big-breasted form while she is in her ninja outfit. Like, normally, the flat-chested form is her normal state. So she's actually very frustrated because she actually wants to have big breasts, like generally, and so she's very frustrated that she can only do so in her ninja outfit. It's actually quite the interesting part of her story. But anyway, imagine having to have your Midnight Bliss model loaded in, invisible and intangible, superimposed on your model the entire time. It's the only way to keep it in memory in 3D, and you have to make it. God help us if Bridget gets blissed. Mon Folk is nice. Welcome to the stream, Pato Mediano. Again, like, the main issue of this idea, I think, is exactly like you said. Like, it's way more difficult to implement it. It's way more difficult to actually make that in 3D than it is in 2D. That's why, like, that ability is probably not getting out the realm of, like, 2D, you know? Gonna use when my monk get to monkiest. But like on the subject of Bridget, like if Bridget gets Midnight Blissed, wouldn't it be funny if the Midnight Bliss form is just like normal Bridget, but then they like reach into their crotch and it's like, it's gone, it's gone. Like nothing else changes. It's just that they reach into their crotch and notice that something that should be there isn't. I feel like this would be like a really interesting way to do a Midnight Bliss for a trap character. But anyway. Honestly, I don't even mind boobs normally if that's that way from the start. Just hate when ordinarily flat characters suddenly become busty. Someone told something about FC. Oh, flat chest, okay. I would personally go the same, but the twist is the human is not offended. But instead something along the lines of, yes, and I demand a banana. No, actually, I think that isn't weak. I think that's even funnier, honestly. Like, imagine just, like, the seeding and, like, just imagine, like, the lizard folk tries to do that, but then the human is just all nonchalant about it, and the lizard folk is just seething in anger. No, I'm going to disagree with you, Afish. I actually think that this is fire. That's a fire idea. Hi, what's the topic today? Welcome to the stream, Generico Geronimo, and it's actually interesting that you got here at this time, because I'm about to initiate like a new topic. Okay. What is it? What is it? Evenico. Oh, yeah. There's a really funny scene in Evenico, actually. That, like, it's a harem game, so you get with multiple women in that game, with like multiple personalities and body types, right? And you might say, okay, so what's so special about it? Well, normally nothing, but like there is a particular scene in Avenico where like what's the name? Where like the main character is like going on a date with one of his like lolly wives, right? And everyone just keeps looking at them weird. And like he notices that and is like, why are they looking at us weird? And like the girl is like, oh, it's probably because of me. Like, they see us dating together. Even though I'm an adult, people probably think of you as like a pedophile because of our difference in size and the fact that I look younger, right? And like Esther is to his credit is incredibly offended, like because he's like, how dare they treat my beloved wife like this? Like, how dare they like think of her as a kid and like not think that she deserves love, like that type of stuff, right? And that's very nice of him, like I really appreciate that. But then like a guard goes to confront him and he is like, hey sir, can I talk to you for a minute? And he's like, no, but I will talk to you for a minute. Like, my wife is a perfectly, like, valid woman. Like, she isn't a child, there's nothing wrong with our relationship. And in fact, you guys are the ones being, like, awful about this. And, like, it goes for this whole setup, for this scene of Esther calling people out, etc., right? And like just as he is about to like deliver his final line, like he is about to fully call people out, the guard is like, oh no, don't, that's not the point here. Like we have quite a few like very small women around town, like nobody thinks it's strange for you two to be dating or to be married. Like that's not the issue here. And then the two of them like look at the officer like confused and are like, okay, so why is everyone looking like at us weird? And the officer like responds, that's because of you, buddy. Like, don't you think I haven't noticed? Don't you think everyone hasn't noticed that you've been staring, like that you've been oogling every single woman that goes past you, even though you're on a date? Like, who I'm here to call out is you. You know, you need to stop being a weirdo, or else, like, we're going to have to take more drastic action, you know? And then he just goes, okay, I see. Like, all awkward while his, like, wife, who at this point was feeling all bad about herself, is now just looking at him with like pure anger in her eyes. It's a really funny scene. At least in my view. Maybe you guys didn't enjoy it as much, but I personally thought it was funny. Konosuba type gag. The only difference is that I don't think like Kazuma would be all like would act like a white knight to even like a girl he liked, you know? So I don't think it's Konosuba style humor, but I don't think the scene itself would occur in Konosuba. Just let me get another topic. Oh yeah, this is interesting because like it relates to like uh it is, but it needs to be executed really well. Then maybe I just kind of ruined it with like my retelling of it. Because I think it's really funny in the game, so maybe it's just that I'm not good at retelling the joke. Oh yeah, though there is something interesting that like we can talk about. Because of like because we were talking about both Darkstalkers and like Evenical, right? And there's something in those two like games. It's something about media in general that I never understood. But it's especially egregious in those games, right? Jesus Christ, the first attack. One sec. Okay. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, as I was saying, one thing I don't understand in those two games specifically, but more like media in general, is the concept of like monsters kidnapping like human woman. Because like when it's a species that's male only, like goblins for example, like I kind of get it. But in most pieces of fiction I've seen, like monster girls and like alien girls and like etc. Are just better than like regular human girls. So like what you're telling me is that you, like an actual monster. Oh, hello Akira, welcome. Who lives like next door to like 3 or like even 4 of these like incredibly adorable and super attractive like monster girls are coming all the way to our world in order to capture plain old human woman. Like, no disrespect to human woman, but like when you live among literal like cat girls, right? Why the fuck are you like making this whole journey just for plain ass human woman, you know? For me it makes sense because I have to go through like a full adventure to go get like monster girls. Like I have to go through a full fucking narrative. So like it's kind of easier to settle for human women who like are closer to me, right? But like you're a monster. Like you literally live amongst like the incredibly like sexy and perpetually beautiful like monster girls. So why the hell are you making this whole like absurd trip to our world for plain old human woman? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like this whole cliche of like monsters coming to our world to get like to capture human woman is a cliche that doesn't make sense to me. You know, it really just doesn't. Anyway, let me get caught up with the like comments and then like I'll continue the story here. Lamau, fucking archers in games are always just stand there and let you run up to them and fold their ass. Anyway, okay. But I think lizard folk are better than lizard men, the race as I, since they probably see themselves as a tribe than a species. So lizard man is like saying he's the same than his enemies. It's an interesting read on the cliche, yeah. Yo, Sakura, my usual style of beating the shit out of them with my fist isn't gonna work. Instead, have to use the style of beating the shit out of them with my fist really hard. Hell yeah. The funny thing in Tensura, Lizard Man versus Lizard Woman. Actually, like, the Lizard Man and Lizard Woman aren't that different. It's just that when they, like, and this is even only for some particular ones, like, when they ascend, when they go up in level, then they start being more like that cliche of the male monster and the female monster. But in general, they are actually quite similar. Maybe the male monsters are done with monster girls. Like, the human males are done with human girls. It's an interesting theory, I'll say. Just a reminder that people always want what they don't have. You know what? You guys bring up a really good point, actually. Homura's voice actress is Kitamura Eri, who voices Sayaka, Madoka Mágica, Rin, Kodomo no Jikan, oh, nice, and Saya from High School of the Dead. If you were a goblin, would you go for the ugly-ass, goblin woman, or would you go for a beautiful human woman? But that's the thing, right? In some... one, I already said that, like, I understand it for, like, species like goblins. But, like, in a lot of cases, like, I've only seen actually one case where the goblin girls were legitimately ugly. They generally either don't exist, goblins are male-only species from what I've seen, or the goblin women specifically are, like, super hot, and the goblin men are the ugly ones. So, like, I'm actually going to push back against your point there, for example. Wait, the Tensura lizard evolution dimorphism is not even a thing, since a bunch of lizard men also evolved into humans. Did they? I know that a lot of demons evolved into, like, humans, but, like, the lizard man, I didn't see one that evolved into a human. Maybe I'm misremembering things. So does Darjeeling from Girls on Panzer. Reptile species of monsters in Tensura can become human-like regardless of species, I believe. I think you mean, like, sex. Some go full human, million worshippers are all half-dragons. Okay. Anyway, moving on. I won. What's Yumi going to think of my weapons now? Even though I just pummeled her, Homura stands up like it's nothing. I see. She provoked you into getting better, huh? She what? Why didn't I think of that? Yumi can be harsh and cold, and sometimes we all hate her for it, but I guess it really is for our own good. If so, I need to make even more of an effort. Are you okay, by the way? Did I hurt you? Who do you think you're talking to? A couple of love taps like that aren't going to slow me down. Homura smiles confidently. For some reason, I feel so happy that I smile too. Hey, up for another round? You need another workout? Fine with me. We face each other and hold our weapons. Are you ready? Anytime. I stoop down deeply, then I leap into action. Damn, that actually is quite the, like, genuinely epic, like, wallpaper. Like, unironically, this is just plain old cool. Through battle, I've learned everything there is to know about my weapons. Yumi won't beat me so easily next time. Thanks for the help, Homura. I'm ready for Yumi now. Genuinely fire. Oh, but while the credits scroll, I wanted to talk to you guys about, like, a funny story that's of my life, actually. Like, when I started drawing, I showed my anime drawings, like, my really rough anime drawings to, like, my parents, right? And, like, I remember I was super proud of, like, having finally been able to, like, draw something that at least somewhat resembled like anime and stuff like that. And like my dad just looked at it with a look of disappointment in his eyes. I didn't understand. And like he was like, come with me, son. And I was like, okay, because we lived in a house at the time. And so he took out like a balloon, right? And he filled it with water, and then like he wrapped it, making like a water balloon. After seeing my drawing, and then he said, "Obscure anime, hold this." And I was like, "Okay, why are you like giving me this?" And like he was like, "This is what a boob feels like. Like this is what an actual boob feels like. Like close your eyes and feel that water balloon. Feel the consistency. Feel how." Like it works in order for you to like be able to and keep that image in your mind in order to be able to draw boobs better, because like those boobs of the character you showed me were just horrendous, son. Like you need to understand how boobs actually work so you can draw better than that. And like to be fair, like his training worked. Like I draw much better boobs now. Because of that. So Bay is dead. Shameful display. I'm cringing right now, dude. Why the heck did you do that? Bay is dead, but terrible advice. Supportive in a great way. I need you. Visualize the breast. Welcome to the stream, Bumblebee. Welcome. You know, speaking of monster girls, were there pig girls in anime and manga? Pig girls. I know I saw like some in fan art. Like I saw some arts on like Twitter and like other art sites I frequent, like Pixiv, etc. They had like pig girls, but I don't think I've ever seen them in any like official anime and manga, now that I think about it. Though apparently I'm just out of the loop, because according to Genérico Jerônimo, there were quite a few in like some recent isekai. I usually don't care for realistic proportion, but that was pretty based, yeah. What else? What else? Okay, there's a pig girl in SAO from what I remember. What are Calicization? I'm not remembering like some of the other ones. There's also one in Tsukimichi. Oh, I heard about Tsukimichi, but I never seen that anime. But Baija only really had the tail. I've seen a pig girl in a Murata teaser trailer for a weird Journey to the West thing called Zayuki. Righteous Bubach. Was expecting something bad, but your dad is based. Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy. Yeah, this is it. Ah, okay, yeah. Okay, it makes sense that I don't remember. Okay. Okay. Okay, what did I think? Okay, we're going to do Minori's story. I'm going to go through the intro, and after I do, I actually have a more like serious topic, well, kind of serious, to talk about with you guys. First, we're going to like see the intro, and then we're going to talk about it. Are there any glass monster girls? I think we talked about this, like I made a whole video about it, and that, at least to my view, like from my experience, there aren't any. And I was like exactly wondering about why that was. Why there were, like, for example, slime girls or water girls, but why there weren't any, like, glass girls, right? And a lot of people said that, like, it's just because glass is unnecessary. Like, everything you can do with glass, you can do with, like, things like slime or water. Like, all the themes you want to, like, put. Like, glass monster girls are just unnecessary because the things that we have are already more than enough. That was the answer, kinda, the comments came to in that video. Anyway. No, where'd all my yummies go? Not in the sweets box, not in the toy box, not behind the TV. Who ate them? Who ate my yummies? Like, seriously, you ate them all yourself like yesterday, remember? I turned to see Shiki standing next to me. She looks confused. Oh, yeah! Come to think of it, she's right. I ate every last one. Now I don't have any. You're dumb, me from yesterday. Now what? I need yummies to live. Okay, only one way to do this. Trick or treat. I do a cool pose when I say it. And you're standing like that, why? I'm casting a spell. You say trick or treat and then you beat people up and they give you candy. I don't think that's quite how that works, Minori. That's not how trick or treat works. I don't care if she thinks I'm wrong. I just want yummies, that's it. Now to go trick or treating. I wonder who might have some candy. Trick or treat. The trick is you get pounded. I think that's just a straight up robbery, Minori. Okay. Surprise too, since there's a literal bedsheet monster girl in the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. Slime and water girls are easy to imagine having sex with. How the fuck would you do a glass girl? No, in the first place, how would she even move? It could be like liquid glass, but then again, at that point, just do a slime. Or it could be like, that she's like an automaton. Like, that she has joints and is more like a doll and stuff like that. There are anime about a glass girl. Anyone saw that French manga recently got an anime adaptation, like actual anime with Japanese studio and all, Tsugumi Project? I'm gonna have to see. I didn't know about that, no. You would break your pelvis or get your zoc squashed. I mean, you could say the same thing about, like, rock girls, and those exist. Trick or treat works by having a lolly in a revealing Halloween costume show up to your door. Then when the guy has no candy, she says, then it's trick, and plays a trick on. That's a pretty good idea too, yeah. I believe now is the third French manga to get an anime adaptation. Yeah, that's been getting a lot more frequent, like not just Chinese and Korean. But I saw, there was only one at the time I saw, but there was one, a really generic shonen that was technically like a French manga that got an anime adaptation to Crunchyroll. So yeah, that is definitely, it's interesting to see that not just other Asian nations, but like other nations in general are getting to make anime. It's just a shame that like even fucking France understands like anime better than Americans. Because like the only time I've ever seen like a nation fail at doing anime is when like it's an American like manga. Like as cliche and as like generic as the manga, yeah, Radiant, exactly. Is like Radiant feels like an actual like shonen, while like pretty much any of these like cartoons that pay homage to anime, none of them feel like actual anime, you know? Huh, I thought anime was hated in France for some reason. Quite the opposite, actually. The Nut Check is an anime. Avatar is an anime. Winx Club is Italian. None of the things you mentioned are anime. Fuck off. Anyway. Okay, people are just, okay. I should warn these masked guys who enter my house every night that Halloween ended then. Anyway. Oh yeah, let's continue. The French fucking love City Hunter. Where is it? What is it? Oh, yeah. Oh god, I need to customize the Gessen girls, like in the future too. What else? Oh yeah, did you guys see about those new like European regulations to also like Sun, I actually did this for you, you know? Like, you couldn't participate the last senrankagura stream, so I dressed, like, Asuka up as a nun, in your memory, you know? God damn it. Oh, yeah. I need to remember. Oh yeah, did you guys see those new like European regulations for the Olympics? That you like apparently can't film female athletes in some like sexualizing angles anymore. Like, are you guys familiar with that or not? Like, do I have to like kind of talk about it first, or are you guys already familiar and I can already begin like talking about it? Like, I'm going to need like to know the status of you guys' knowledge on that before I begin like speaking. Anyway. What the fuck? She doesn't even have a weapon or martial arts. She just fucking whacks the shit out of people with a bucket. Also, the lolly aura is strong with this one. Anyway. Wait, it's too overwhelming for me. Both their outfits are too good. Nun gets smacked by a bucket by a little girl. What a crazy vision. My god, Senrankagura's costume designer is a genius. No, first time hearing about it. Oh my gosh, she even has a frying pan. It's Yaya 100%. Okay, most people don't seem to know about this. So, in the Olympics, in like the European Union, like there are new regulations that say that you can't like film or like photograph the athletes from what they call compromising positions, like positions that are too close to like their butts, or that show them like too much of their bodies in bikinis or stuff like that. Like you're only able to like film them if it's like if the angle and the situation is like, oh, they are like crying from having won, or like something like that. Like if the angle or like how you're filming the athletes is deemed too sexual, then like that's prohibited. So that's what they've been doing recently. And like a lot of people have been asking, oh, this isn't an issue for the male athletes. Like, why don't they just if like there are like so worried about women being sexualized in the Olympics, why don't they give the female athletes like costumes, like more modest costumes, like the ones from like that the male athletes wear, you know? And like the reason is that they actually have the option. Like female athletes for a while have had the option to wear like less revealing outfits, and they consistently like choose the like more revealing ones. So if you film a female athlete the same way you would a male athlete, it's like it sexualizes her more, specifically because of their costumes. Because for you guys that don't know, this has been a thing even in gymnastics. Like I learned about it recently. Like in gymnastics, they actually don't have to go with those like super revealing like leotards. Like they can actually, they for a few years now have been able to wear like more like modest leotards with shorts or even pants. But like most of them choose to go like if they have the option, they choose to go with the more revealing costumes, like every time, you know. And so that's why they don't just censor the costumes. That's why they don't just give like less revealing costumes to the woman, because they do. Like they have that as an option. The woman almost never choose that. They almost always choose the more revealing option. So instead, to try to desexualize it, they are now like going for the camera angles. Like, okay, if the women are dressed in pretty much nothing, then like the cameraman now can't film them from the same angles as the male athletes, in order to not infringe on their like dignity and stuff like that. And like my take is going to be like I'll just be honest with you. My take on this is straight up misogynistic. You know? Like I'm not even going to like pretend to like even be like fair or anything like that. I'm just going to be straight up misogynistic in what I'm going to say. Is that like if they want to do that, if they feel like this would like respect women more or whatever, that's fine. But like action have consequences. And what I mean by that is that like you can't have like one thing and expect it not to affect like other things, you know? Because the reality is that a lot of people, like way less people watch female games than they do male ones. And a lot of the people who do watch female games, they watch it because of those costumes, you know? Is that all their audience? No, of course not. But like a lot of people watch because of that. Right? So like if they want to get rid of like those angles or those things because they want to respect women more, like that's fine. But they need to understand that like this will just make the problem of female games not being watched as much even worse, you know? Again, like I fully respect and like making this decision and doing what they want to do, you know? Like, if they genuinely think that this will be more respectful to women, they should. But they just need to understand that actions have consequences. And that this will make other things that they already find as issues, like, even worse. Like, solving that issue will make other issues worse. Like, that's all that, like, I think. They genuinely find this important and want to do that. Fair. They just need to understand that, like, the world doesn't exist in a vacuum, you know? Like, you can't just alter something and expect other things not to be altered, you know? That's the only thing I really have to say on this, is that, like, okay, you can do that, but just know that there are going to be consequences to this. That is all, you know? Anyway, moving on. Is that regulation actually a thing? It's not. It hasn't been a thing up until recent. Like, it's going to be a thing, you know? I'm so glad that they did the non-costume correctly. Non-costume shouldn't be too revealing. Their eroticism comes from less is more philosophy. I know that anime, and that's not what I'm hoping for when I said Glass Monster Girl. Okay. Anyway. Ooh, I get what you mean now. With the kind of uniform they use, it may be hard to get a non-naughty angle, but sometimes it does feel like the photographers are doing it on purpose. I'll tell you why always, because female athletes themselves refuse to change to more modest outfits. Yeah, I know. That's what I was explaining. Activists realizing that humans in peak physical condition generally would rather strut their shit. I think she's... Okay. Minori is too much. I think she's competing with Hibari and Mirai from my heart. It's a lose-lose situation. This proves that the presence of a backpack improves panty shots. Anyway, people are not talking about, like, the, like, regulations anymore. They're just talking about Monogatari, and, like, I can see why. Because, like, yeah, big backpacks, like, are really appealing. So yeah, I totally get you guys' points. Did she say... No, she didn't. She didn't say that. You just have a naughty mind. Actually, let me, like, get something else here, so we can talk about something. Anyway. Okay, let's talk about this. I don't know where this story is from. But, like, it's so hilarious, I want to share with you guys. Because apparently there's the story of this witch, right? Like, there's this actual, like, folk story about this witch, right? That, like, used to live in a city. And, like, I don't remember the context, but it was a story about this witch using her magic to disguise herself as a sack of potatoes. So she could... steal wheat, not even bread, like straight up wheat to make bread because she was hungry, right? And then she gets found out and, like, is run, like, away from where she was hiding. And, like, I heard that story and I was like, what kind of bun-ass witch is this? Like, seriously, you have magic. And the thing you're going to use that magic for is not to cast, like, fireballs or to fly or anything like that. No, you're going to disguise yourself as a sack of potatoes so you can steal wheat because you're hungry. Like, that's got to be the lamest, most bun-ass witch I've ever seen. And she can't even, like, steal it, like, successfully. She gets caught. Like, imagine magically, like, concealing yourself as a sack of potatoes and still getting caught. Like, if that's not the most pathetic witch I've ever seen, like, I don't know which one is. You know? Anyway, one sec. Small, holding a huge weapon and carrying a huge backpack, imagine. Is that giant weight she keeps pulling out? What's, hey Fisher, what's your favorite Monster Girl species? Okay. That's what they're talking about. Honestly, cat girls are a classic for a reason, eh, Fisher? There's nothing wrong with liking cat girls. Like, just because your answer is, like, conventional doesn't mean it's wrong, you know? Some things are popular for a reason, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why, but out of all the ninja weapons and attacks I've seen, this seems like the most painful. Like, she just dents your fucking head with a bucket. What kind of ninja art is this? The ninja art of kicking your ass. That's what this ninja art is. The other is mermaids, plants girls, and slime girls. I remember, like, mermaids were kind of mid on, like, my list. Slime girls were obviously, like, great. And, like, plants girls, to anyone who's seen the list, were straight up at the bottom. Like, I remember ranking, like, plants girls very, very poorly on my Monster Girl list. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Why does she pump that bolt action rifle like a pump action? Because the creators of this game aren't gun nerds. Actually, do demon girls succubi count as monster girl? Yes, yes they do. I'm pretty sure fairies were like second place on my monster girl list. Where's this poor witch from? Oh wait, that's the thing. I don't remember where the story is from. Like, I just remember the story. I don't know where, like, it's from, unfortunately. Damn it. If fairies count, then I'm going to be honest. That's my number one, is not even close. Because an Onaho that can fly is very convenient, right? That wasn't necessarily my reason, but it's a valid one. Don't worry, the bad gun is out of the screen now, son. You don't need to see that anymore. Okay. For the next subject, are you guys familiar with like Rayplay? Like that very controversial game that appears on pretty much like every most disturbing games of all time lists. Like, are you guys familiar with Rayplay? I'm going to ask this first, and then like I'm going to begin talking about it. Yeah, I've heard of Rayplay. Okay. Yes. Okay. She's giving the candy to me. Yes, okay. No. Okay. To explain to Sun specifically, rape play is essentially like what the name suggests. It's a simulator of like you playing as like a rapist. Like it's a game about where you like it's a 3D game where you like molest women on trains and then like take them to specific situations in order to do, you know, as that kind of thing. It's essentially like a grape simulator, right? And like a lot of people told me, like, because I used to like because like I used to watch a lot of those like, oh, the most disturbing things like ever on the internet types of videos, right? Especially when I was younger. And so when I got into like actual like hentai games and stuff like that, like I decided, you know what, like let's try it. Let's see like this like rape play and see what's so bad about it, like what it's all about, right? And then like I played it, right, or at least a bit of it, and I was like, this really isn't like that bad, you know. Rape play, I think, was a victim of being too popular, because like it really seems like really normie to like be like super offended at that, you know. Because for anyone who is like actually used to like hentai games, because to anyone who is actually used to like hentai games, they will know that like rape play isn't even like the weirdest out of all of them. Like it's not even like specially weird, you know. Like genuinely, I think most like Japanese games, most hentai games, or most hentais in general, are way more disturbing than rape play, you know? And I'm not saying that like the concept is not like inherently disturbing. I'm just saying that in the scale of like the Japanese games that like exist, rape play, I don't think it's even in the like top 100 most disturbing. Like there's so much like more awful shit like you can find that like genuinely, if I ever made like most disturbing hentai games tier list, I think that one would be at the absolute top, at the like essentially the surface. Not just because it's very well known, but simply because it really doesn't have anything too special, too like disturbing about it in comparison to some other stuff, you know? Sure, the premise is disturbing, but there isn't any more to it, you know? It's disturbing, but it's surface level disturbing. Not the like worst thing ever that some people hype it up to be, you know? In fact, a lot of people could probably argue that there are some like normal anime out there that are more disturbing than that one, simply because of their subject matter, you know? I feel like, for example, something like, if you start to think about it, something like Made in Abyss, for example, is way more disturbing than like rape play. Especially given some of the things that happen like later on in the manga, you know? So it always just felt very like surface level to me to be all that disturbed. It really makes it feel like you didn't do your research on the subject. Like, I think anyone who has watched that video will agree that, for example, that Toho like age manga Like that Toho Dojin that I reviewed is like 1,000 times more disturbing than like Rayplay, right? So yeah, it just always felt like really weird to me. It really just feels like people playing something up because they're not used to it. Because like it feels like a sign of people who didn't do their research essentially. You guys seem to have some really interesting opinions on the subject, so I'll be getting to like your comments in just a bit. I actually want to get to like the gameplay before. But yeah, this also like has an interesting point that I've noticed. There's an interesting point I've noticed in regards to senrankagura and what's the name, Brown Dust 2, right? Is that I really did not believe that you could make like sweatpants or like a track outfit of any kind like genuinely sexy, you know? But they managed to. They genuinely made me like interesting audio bug there. It genuinely made me like very excited right now for like girls' legs jiggling in fucking sweatpants. It's on the level of that one game with the cowboy, with the chick that's tied to the cactus. I think people know what I'm talking about. I do know what you're talking about, A Fish, or at least, I think I know. And being completely honest, like, I go a step further and say that, like, that game is actually more disturbing than, like, Rayplay. Because Rayplay, for as disturbing a premise as it has, is entirely fictional, right? While that game is like based on like real people, you know? Even if it's like even if it's a very like exaggerated depiction, that game for the Atari, I believe, it's still based on like real historical figures, you know? So in my opinion, I would even go a step further and say that game is way more disturbing than like Rayplay. Simply, again, because of the fact that Rayplay is entirely fictional, at least. Yes, exactly, Custer's Revenge. Anyway, I'm going to be reading your comments before I continue. Yeah, I'm going to be reading your comments before I continue because it's I glanced at it a bit and it seems interesting the things you have to say about the subject I was talking about. Speaking of which, there's a comedy moe slice of life, literally called Bad Girl. It became one of my favorite moe slice of lives ever. Recall dropping after finding the gameplay super lame. Oh, you mean like Rayplay? Yeah, yeah, dropping an age game for having bad gameplay. No, that's completely valid. Like, I always say this, like, that I really dislike this attitude that people have that, oh, because it's, like, hentai game or an ecchi game, you should have, like, lesser standards for it. No, you should have higher standards for it. Because what an ecchi game is proposing to do is to be both an interesting game with exciting sexual content. So it should be both a good game and have good, content of that kind. If it's some cheap piece of shit, like, unfortunately, some of them are, like, that's only carried by, some basic bitch scenes, then it's completely valid to just drop it, you know? Like, in my view, an ecchi or hentai game should be a great game with great sexual content. You shouldn't excuse bad gameplay for like because it has sexual content, and neither should, like, let's say the gameplay is amazing but the sexual content is garbage. That shouldn't be excused either. Like, to me, even if the game is amazing, if it's proposing to be an ecchi game and the ecchi sucks, then the game also failed, you know? Several of these top iceberg lists are super lame. I'll check that one out. That reminds me, Akira, do you like Roncon? It was released during the time it was profitable for American TV channels to target games and internet culture for boosting their audience. Oh, okay, so it was more like the cultural zeitgeist that made it so well known. Normie virtual signalers who complain of Western age games would die of a heart attack at the spot if they saw any Japanese age game. I think that was also the time it was popular to make 4chan seem more dangerous than it actually was. That could have contributed to it too, yeah. Anyway. I remember there was one really old game that too was in some disturbing iceberg. The dude explains it so seriously that you think it must be really bad. But you see the actual game and you're like, XD. It's on the level of that one game of the... okay, I already read that. I rarely watch it nowadays. After years of frustration, I eventually got fed up with it. I even dare say I managed to find more... okay. The Virgin Killer / Suit Effect. Anyway. If it has a good gimmick and well-paced story, I might give it a try. What? Did you just call me, Pew? Wait, did I just call Sun, like, Big Pew? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, like, oh, okay, no, it was Akira. Okay, I thought I said that without even realizing. Anyway, what real people? Who? Like Custer's Revenge, right? Custer was an actual, like, historical figure. Like, that he was known for trying to take out... I'm simplifying, but he was known for, like, hunting down Native Americans and failing. That's why the game is called Custer's Revenge. It's Custer, like, the actual historical figure, like, taking quote-unquote revenge for historically losing to the Native Americans by, like, well, raping a Native American woman. That's why I said that, like, conceptually is even more disturbing than rapeplay. Anyway. This is why you need to play sequel. True and real, yeah. Do you consider Monster Girl Quest an RPG or a puzzle game? Depends. The first Monster Girl Quest is a puzzle game. It's a much more, like, free form, a much more, like, essentially it's a puzzle game that you can solve in a variety of different ways. There isn't just one particular, like, solution to the puzzle, but it is more of a puzzle game. Now, if you're talking about Paradox, that is a more, like, standard RPG. It's a nice idea, but I just think the reality is that most age games don't have very good gameplay. It's just because almost nobody will make an age game, which makes it less likely that a finite number of skilled game developers in the world could be one to make an age game. I'll be honest, I don't think that's a good take, Sun. Like, because I think you're thinking a lot about, like, shovelware type stuff, you know? When you actually go into the world of, like hentai games and you start looking at some things like Rans, for example, or Evanico, or like Black Souls, etc. There's a lot of really good, like, age and ecchi games. Like, if you can, like, start, like, if you go past the, like, wave of shovelware that unfortunately exists, there are some really good, like, hentai games out there. Like, has games and has, like, hentai. But anyway. It could be argued that part 3 is an RPG, but parts 1 and 2 have extremely strict solutions to winning the battles. Also, because with an age game, I assume that this applies to most people, but only consider the age game which appeals to your specific kink, which narrows it down even further, so the chance of someone making an age game in your kink with good gameplay is just very rare. Again, disagree. My standards for gameplay are definitely lower for age games just out of necessity. Okay, might just be that my kinks are too unpopular so they don't get very good games. It could be like more of a personal thing. Wow, I didn't know that. My stream is very educational. Monster Girl Quest Paradox, a straight up RPG, true. One of the best ones too, that I can't confirm. What's the most hardcore hentai game everyone here has ever played in terms of difficulty? In terms of difficulty, I think it's definitely like Black Souls for me. Like, for the fights in the base game, all you need to do really is grind and get more abilities, right? And know how to use those abilities. But some fights, especially in DLC 3, are straight up bullshit, okay? It's the kind of thing of, oh no, you need an armor that revives you like 80% of the time to even survive, because the enemies like attack you 20 times before you can even move. It's that type of bullshit, you know? It's the type of bullshit of, oh no, we suddenly took away your ability to, like, use the basic attack. Good luck. Like, maybe a normie answer, but yeah, Black Souls 2 is definitely, like, bullshit. Like, Black Souls 1 and Red Hood's Woods, even, like, stuff like Difficulty 9 and stuff like that, is, more reasonable. But Black Souls 2 is straight up bullshit. Anyway, moving on. Wow, this is the yummiest yummy ever. It's crispy and sweet at the same time, and the blend is just amazing. My smile is so big I can barely bite down. You understand the greatness of sprout sweets? Oh yeah, let me eat some more, please. I'm so glad to hear that. Finally, I found a sister in sproutitude. What the fuck? She gives me a great big hug. Would you like to make some more sprout sweets with me? Then you can eat as much as you want. For real? Yeah, I'm in. Let's make sprout sweets. I get to be Yomi's apprentice. A week later? Sprout sweets, sprout sweets. Sprouts for you and sprouts for me. Some of the ones in the other routes were kind of like more focused on being like sexy and like playing more into the ecchi aspect of the game, but most of the Gessen ones that I've seen are kind of more like cool or adorable, honestly. I noticed that the CGs for this are way less on the sexy side than the other ones. I'm not complaining, I just like starting to notice that kind of thing. Me and Yomi have been making sprout sweets every day. We bake them up and eat them up, and then happiness sprouts inside us. I don't need any other yummies. As long as I got sprouts, I'm good. Viva sprout sweets. Sprouts, sprouts, sprouts. Okay, I'm not reading that. It's like we're lost in a deep, dark jungle of sprouts. But we're happy here. And we're never coming out. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, let me see something that, Oh, this is interesting. Like, one thing I've noticed, like, recently... Well, I haven't noticed this, like, Like, I haven't noticed this recently, right? This is a thought that I had for quite a while, actually. But, like, I feel like most lolicons aren't, like, they're made, you know? And what do I mean by that is that, a lot of lolicon content creators I've seen didn't used to be like lolicons. In fact, most of them that I can think of, like for example Rev or like Akun or Dimitri Monroe or like what's the name, Chibi Reviews, they didn't really used to be lolicons, you know? In fact, most of those people seem to be pretty neutral on the topic, or even like slightly against it. Like I remember Akun even saying before the whole controversy with like Genshin Impact, for example, that he faced, that he actually didn't like Loli that much, you know? But like, a lot of these people became lolicons specifically because NTs began to be so like unhinged and so like annoying, you know? It's not even that like they found like necessarily a really good loli that changed their minds and etc. No, it's just that NTs became so like unhinged, so out there in recent years that that like it turned even people who were like neutral on the topic into like full-on lolicons, because the less because anything on our side, quote unquote, convinced them, and more because the other side is so utterly deranged, you know? So yeah, it's just something that I noticed, that a lot of the most like popular lolicons right now are just people who were okay with the topic and then began their path into full degeneracy because like antis became so unhinged. It's kind of interesting to like, it's kind of an interesting thing to notice, I think. Anyway. Anyway, I feel like with age games, making the gameplay too challenging kind of misses the point. Like, I would just be focusing on surviving, Lamau. Happiness sprouts inside of me. Nakad. Anyway, maybe you could do a masochism-based thing there somehow. Good point. The Eye Cipher Noita is unsalted Tuesday. To be honest, age games should have engaging gameplay, not necessarily hard gameplay. Make me enjoy the age game. I agree with you guys' think. I would say lolicons are awakened rather than maids. Didn't Rev announce that he isn't a lolicon anymore because his Christian wife or something like that? All I know is that he said that a bit ago, but recently he's been making videos like defending lolicon again. So I don't know, maybe the grift like to other things wasn't paying the bills enough, and so he went back to lolicon because he needed more money. I don't fucking know. All I know is that he's been like talking about it more recently. Like, I think though I wasn't aware of it, I was repressing due to societal construct. I was attracted to loli characters since I was born. Can I remember specific examples to support this? I'm not talking about like everyone. I know that there are people like you who just like lolis from the beginning, and me too. Like I also like lolis from the beginning. I'm just saying that I noticed that a lot of lolicons nowadays were kind of made that way due to antis being annoying. Either that or he wouldn't tackle it on his channel anymore, at least. Crazy if true. Stop watching Rev a while ago and his content flipped to being 95% political instead of otaku related. Again, he went back to the otaku stuff because, again, I guess the grift wasn't paying well enough. Anyway. Oh wait, how are you doing? Oh, welcome to the stream, Gummy Gun. I'm doing fine today. Or at least as fine as I can be. Okay, I need to go to sleep. Good night. Thanks for participating, A-Fish. I know that it must be like late as hell for you right now. So I really appreciate you being here. For so long. And Love Saga of Tanya the Evil is season 2. It's out the first episode. I need to get in on that. Straub cucked him so hard. Can you really be cucked by your own wife? I feel like that's misusing the words a bit, not gonna lie. Rev probably defends it on principle. And some of his actions made me doubt that a bit, but I'm not going to like argue with you too much on that. Like, if you want to believe in that he still like tackles this on principle, like fine. But I personally don't believe that anymore. Don't know if you are Brazilian too, son. Do you know Tragicômico? That channel went the same path, but worse, because at least Rev still tangentially focused on anime. No, I'm American. I don't know that channel. Okay. Hey, oh, I need to watch it. Don't worry, son. You ain't missing anything. Then, okay. The first 2 episodes were pretty nice. There are not many people who really try to make things better. Unfortunately. Wait, I don't believe it. He stopped doing No, he didn't stop doing political content. I'm just saying that he went back to Lolly. He's still doing the political stuff. It's just that it's alongside Lolly now. Love the new season 2 ending. And the voice actor of Tanya. Cool. Okay. He didn't exactly stop per se, but he actually talks about anime again now. Like Straub took his ball. Okay, that I can believe in. Moving on. Calm down. Let me see the fucking... Okay. I also have something else to talk about. This one is a bit more like edgy. But there's a very like edgy video on YouTube called Wait, let me see if the internet like gets better and then I'll start talking about it. Well, it's a good thing that the internet is only bad now that like I pretty much finished talking about things I wanted to, and like that we don't have gameplay going on anymore. It'd be better if, and I'm going to talk with the internet service provider so that doesn't happen. But it's good that at least the bad internet is isolated to moments like this. Oh, hello Merlin. Like, we're just playing Senrankagura and talking about stuff. At least Chibi Reviews is full lolly still. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's this video on YouTube that I saw called Mixed Race Mistakes. You know? And the subject of the video should be pretty, like, self-explanatory. It's essentially a guy, like, arguing that, like, quite a few people or, like, characters, like, demonstrate why you shouldn't mix races, you know? It's just a very, like, bigoted video in general. And so you might be wondering, okay, why are you even talking about it if you know it's just a bad video, right? That is because, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, I was raised during the, like, edgelord period of the internet. So I know that as awful as videos like these can be, like, they often contain some really, like, funny memes, right? So that video, like, acts as kind of my, how do I say it, my Green Goblin mask, sort of, you know? Like, I'm, like, oh, this video is so bad, like, I shouldn't give it ad revenue, I shouldn't support stuff like that, you know? I shouldn't watch this kind of stuff. And then, like, another part of my brain will go, like, but the memes, though. Like, just think about all the, like, great memes that could, be on a video like this, and the other part will be like, no, but it's a bigoted video that goes against like your very existence, and this dude is like super like awful, etc. And then the other part just goes like, but the memes though. So yeah, that video's been sitting in my recommended tab for a while, and like it kinda feels like my Green Goblin mask. I kinda go back and forth in whether I should watch it or not. I know the like objective response is that I shouldn't, but like the memes, bro, the memes. Do you guys have something like that? Some like video, some content that you know you shouldn't be watching, but you're like, but the memes though, or like some kind of guilty shit like that? That's lingerie. It's a it's a tiny ass piece of fabric. Yes, that's what lingerie is. Like, that is what it's supposed to be. How does the game even rate lingerie? I don't think it has like a consistent rating, because I've seen some much more like some actual shorts, some boy shorts be rated as climactic, while some stuff like this, which is very attractive to me, gets rated like on some of the lower ends, you know? So I think it's just kind of random. Pink Goblin. But he did get mogged by Tectone and Nicholas, but I can say at least save him from... Yeah, okay. I'm so happy Tanya is back at season 2 and is my favorite song of Tanya the Evil now. I'll watch it right after this stream. I really need to get in on that, frankly. Like I said to you guys, I haven't had the time, but whenever I do, I really need to get back into like Saga of Tanya the Evil. I think the climactic one is smaller than Pasties though. Well, it is a video game, so it can afford to do more like exaggerated stuff like that. And to be fair, like I've seen some of these like in the real world too, so it's not like it's that unrealistic. But anyway. Oh, I was actually recently watching like gameplay of Duke Nukem Forever, right? Like, if you guys don't know, it's like one of the worst games ever made. And like, I don't know if this take is like something new or anything like that, but I genuinely believe that the reason why Duke Nukem Forever is so bad is because, to me, it feels like, do you know what I mean? Like, look at what's in Hot. Like, that one was in, like, Nice, and, like, these, like, boy shorts are in, like, climactic, you know? Do you see what I mean, that the ratings don't mean anything? Oh, also, welcome to the stream, Teto. But yeah, that's kind of my take on things. That's like Duke Nukem Forever, the reason it's so bad is something that people didn't identify at the time, because it wasn't as common at the time. That I genuinely think that Duke Nukem Forever is so bad because it's the first case of like movie game that we've had, like in the worst way possible. It genuinely feels the same, as bad in the same ways as like some of the movie games that get like talked about nowadays. I genuinely believe that's why it's so bad, you know? Anyway. Sup chat, I'm on the arcade right now. Oh gosh, I suck at Dance Dance Revolution. Again, welcome to the stream, Teto. What the heck? Oh, okay. Is it just my impression from the clips, or the new season of Tanya has been more memey? I haven't actually seen it yet, so I can't confirm. Okay. Oh, is that one again? Did it appear in 2 different rarities? I think it's because it's 2 different colors. Don't know if I have a video like that. If one keeps appearing on my recommended non-stop, I eventually remove it myself. Again, I want to remove it, but like I can't because I'm kind of conflicted, you know? I heard of it, 8 years to be made. I think it took longer actually. I think Duke Nukem is an underrated game, at least it was creative. I agree with you if you're talking about Duke Nukem 3D, but Forever is just bad. I'm sorry, but like, I just don't agree that Forever is a good game, you know? It just isn't. Anyone watching Sayonara Lara apparently saw the anime include the entire opening was made using traditional animation cells. I watched a bit of it, and I'll be honest, it made me very curious. I'll definitely like be watching a bit more of it later. Oh, is this one? I saw the PV for this one, the mermaid one. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm saying probably watch season 1. I bet cannot wait for new episodes. The problem is that I already watched season 1. I already loved it. And like, I really don't have the time. So I really need to get into the new one if I want to actually like watch it. But anyway, let me, before we continue, let me get another subject to talk about. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, but I agree, Gummy Gum, but like that isn't because of Duke Nukem Forever has a game, you know? It's just because the time it was made. Like, you can say that about most games of the time, you know? Like, I get what you mean, but it's not like something that is special about that game specifically, you know? By the way, on the Guilty Pleasure, that would be Funk. I listen to it on an anonymous tab every so often, even though I know I'll keep disappointing myself. No, it was the golden age of gaming. Yes, that's the point. It wasn't because, like, it was something, like special about Duke Nukem Forever. Like, if you're going to argue for that point, then it's just something of the era it was created. It's like a good thing of the era. It's not a good thing about that game specifically. That's my point. Because the entire song just repeats the climax all the time. Again, I get it. But anyway. Duke Nukem Forever, my guilty pleasure game, just saying. No, you can have like a different opinion. Like, obviously, like, I respect like people having different opinions. Like, so if you like that game, I respect it. I'm just saying what I think. But I'm not like saying, oh, you're wrong. No, if you like that game, that's completely valid, I think. That said, one thing I wanted to talk about with you guys is that I think some, and this might sound like weird coming from me, but I think some desexualized designs, are not bad. And that's because I think that what makes desexualization so bad is the attitude behind it. Like a lot of things, right? Because I saw this girl, like, at the time where like Yandere Simulator was like an actually popular game that people took seriously, right? At the time, like I saw a girl that took the characters and she made her own versions of it, which happened to be like way less sexualized, with much longer skirts and like with smaller boobs, etc. And like generally I'd be all against that because oh how dare you do that, like you think you're fixing the designs and like you are just some normie what's the name some normie tourist, etc. And like a lot of girls did that, unfortunately. A lot of artists were like had that attitude of, oh no, I'm doing this because I'm going to fix Yandere Simulator. And yeah, that is just awful. But like this girl specifically, I appreciate what she did because she didn't have that attitude. She was like, oh no, the designs are fine. It's just that like I want to see how these characters would be like in my style, which obviously focuses less on sexualization. You know, is less exaggerated in that way, etc. And I thought that was like respectable. Like I genuinely think that like desexualizing the characters is not an inherently bad thing. Like it's just that a lot of the time it's done with a bad attitude of, oh, I need to fix this is wrong and misogynistic and whatever. But like when it's just some person like trying to make their own version, like apply their own vision, I genuinely don't think it's a bad thing, you know? And like and so that's why I think that what she did was actually how many times have I gotten this one specifically? It was okay, you know? But for an example of people doing that was a bit funnier, right? Another example of like people doing like desexualizing characters in a way that's not condescending, but that's less oh that's kind of neat and more that was just funny, you know. There was a cosplayer, right, that I saw that she cosplays Blue Archive characters, right? And she cosplays them accurately. She cosplayed like Hina and Kisaki and Ibuki and all the like normal ones, right? But then she was like, hey, obviously it's a game, so like that, and a very fan servicey game, so that's why it's like that. But like in reality, like Kisaki would be wearing a much more like reserved outfit. Like that dress actually exists in reality, and like it generally is worn with like some very puffy like white pants underneath. Is obviously not worn with just the legs out, you know, at least not usually. And it generally has like much more like puffy, much larger like sleeves. It's generally a much more like modest dress than the version that Kisaki actually wears. It's obviously a more sexualized version. And so, since I already cosplayed a more like character accurate Kisaki, like I wanted to see how she would look like in a more realistic like version of this type of outfit. I think it would look good, you know? And so she did that. She like made her own version of Kisaki in much more realistic and closer to like more real world accurate version of her dress. And I genuinely think it came out pretty good. I genuinely think it was a cute version, honestly. But like what was funny about like that situation specifically is that obviously she gained a lot less likes on like her post of her own version than she did on her like cosplay of the accurate Kisaki. And then she went like she commented a few days after posting it, like, oh, like, this is so sad. Seems like nobody liked my version of Kisaki. And I was like, well, that's not true. Like, hundreds of people liked your version of Kisaki. It's just that, like, let's be real, the Kisaki's fans were, like, obviously nobody is going to / should harass you because you're not doing this out of spite. I don't have anything against the original design, but obviously people who are fan of the original character aren't going to like a version that takes away her main appeal, you know? Like, I get what you were trying to make, and I think you did a pretty good job, but let's be real here. There's a reason why way less people liked your version than the original. Like you shouldn't really be surprised at that, you know? So yeah, just a kind of funny thing I saw. No build up, no nothing. And I don't like skipping to the best part. I think that's stupid. No, again, I get what you mean. You traitor. I know, sorry. I wanted to talk about the next Chaos Head live stream when? Next week. Next week is going to be the next Chaos Head like live stream. And the internet started fucking up, because of course it did. Why wouldn't it? Well, we're just on text right now, so it doesn't matter much, frankly. It's just fortunate that all the time... Again, it would be better if this just didn't happen, but it's just fortunate that most of the times when the internet does fuck up, it's not doing, like, gameplay or anything like that. I know it's true before I heard it. Also, I got Marciana's swimsuit in 110 pool, and I got 2 of her in 110 pool. Oh, that's so cool! Like, that's very lucky of you, Gamigan. That's pretty cool. Example, there are these characters from a game I really like. Niche example here, Marikin Online. It's all stickman, they don't even have clothes or anything. Very sensate. I'm happy that Mushoku Tensei authors fighting against Western censorship and Fire Force author and Gashaku. Yeah, they're all like pushing back against it, and it's all very cool, yes. Based. Elaborate, Gun. I believe Kisaki doesn't wear panties and always paid by the government to say that she does. Just look at her, like, 3D model. Like, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, to ruin your dreams, but she does wear panties. Like, she can and she does. You're just wrong. Said they will not care about how the West views on it. He said he will create his own vision, does not care about... okay. And that's what Akira's called base. And yeah, very, very based off Mushoku Tensei, the Mushoku Tensei author, yeah. But then again, I think it would be more surprising if the Mushoku Tensei author was somehow pro-censorship. Like, it's to be expected, but it's still pretty cool. Hey, so you and me, we're supposed to be all righteous and stuff, but like, what's that mean exactly? Huh? Shiki's sudden question startles me. What is righteousness? It's not an easy question. I clearly understand it in my head, but I have to explain it very carefully to help Shiki understand it the way I do. And with no disrespect to her, the explanation has to be simple, so how should I say it? Righteousness, well, it's, righteousness is...
人の数だけ正義はあるとかよく聞くけど、どれもピンとこないんだよね。
But yeah, next week there will be a Chaos Head stream. Anyway, like some people are all might makes right, and other people are all like just do whatever. But I don't know. There's like so many different answers. I figured you'd know if anybody would, right? Well, she needs clarity, and I don't know if I can give it to her. When she sees me hesitating, she sighs and walks away. Wow, like even you and me doesn't even know. Hold on a minute, please give me some time and I can find a definite answer for you. I shout that as she goes on walking. As Shiki says, there are many ideas of righteousness. Can only hope that she will agree to mine once I gain a firm grasp of it. I need field research. Fortunately, we know many people who fight for their own ideals. Let us find the true meaning of righteousness. No spoilers, but I think the meaning that she ends up fighting is very interesting, to say the least. You guys will see. But man, I love Bachkin. She used like a dark empress dress once, and her only other defining trait is using sunglasses, but man, I just can't get over it. That's fair. Oh wait, tell me if I should just drop the topic right here. What everyone here thinks of video games that just released in English after decades getting AI translations nowadays. Slightly leaning in favor. Okay. What everyone here think of games that released in English after decades getting AI translations nowadays? I'm slightly leaning in favor. I hate AI translations. What even is that attack, man? Like, why can you just spin and become like a ball of damage? Like a ball of perpetual fucking damage for... Oh, okay, I have my own bullshit, okay. But people are talking about like my view on like AI translations is that like they are a symptom of like what's going on. Like they're not good, but like I definitely understand people who like prefer them, specifically because of how bad human translations are nowadays. Like if human translators weren't so comically shit, like I don't think anybody would support AI translations. I think it's I think they're being supported specifically because like people feel like they are a better alternative to the bullshit we have to endure, unfortunately. You know? It's one of those like the lesser of like two evils kind of situations, in my opinion. God damn it! Okay. Okay, I just lost. Okay, I'm going to need to try this again. The problem is that, like, son, this isn't a reasonable expectation to have, I don't think. Like, I get your point, but, like, it's not reasonable to just tell people, oh, instead of using AI translations, just learn Japanese. Like, you say it like it's nothing, but 3 to 4 years is a lot of time, you know? Again, I get your point of being, like, anti-AI. Like, again, I genuinely get it.
何が正義かをご存知ですか？正義はもやしと言いたいところですが、お金でしょう。
But it's not reasonable to just tell people to, oh, just learn Japanese, you know?
汚い手段を使った。これらは全てお金で解決できますわ。
Again, I get the AI, anti-AI point of view, but you need to be reasonable in what you expect from people. You can't just have your, like, response be, oh, just learn Japanese, because, like, nobody is going to be sympathetic to this. Like, again, not liking AI is okay, but you need to be reasonable in, like, the to people and, like, what they are asking for. Jesus Christ, how do I even... Fucking hell. Holy fucking shit. Okay, I'm going to address your points, like, in a bit. But for now, I need to focus on this fight, because it's apparently, like, unreasonably hard for whatever reason. No, Merlin, seawater isn't drinkable. Like, seawater is known to be, like, even worse than being thirsty. Because, like, that's the reason he said it. Because seawater, like, will only actually take away water from your body. So it's even worse than, like, being thirsty and not drinking anything. What the hell? When she starts, like, Sonic the Hedgehogging, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Again, I kinda need to focus, that's why I'm not addressing your comments. But, I was hypothetical with the sea being drinkable part. It obviously isn't. Ah, okay. Right. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to need to focus a bit for this fight. So, like, I will address you guys later. God damn it. Like, when she becomes like a just wall of damage, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, now I leveled up, so, like, I can do this. But, like, before, what the hell am I supposed to do? Fucking, this fucking fight is making me actually have to try. Are you serious? Come on, seriously? Okay. Thank God. Okay. Okay. Now that that fight is done, let me get actually caught up with the comments. Anyway, okay. Marikin Online still doesn't have an English translation. The creator for some reason doesn't allow a translator because it's against community guidelines or some BS. On a side note, I got into translating the game. You just don't care. Like, yes, we are dehydrating to that, but you'll still die if you drink seawater. Also kinda sad we did not get Cope's part story for the game pack in the West, but at least I can import it. It has English subtitles. Yeah, just like the DOA, like what's the name? That beach volleyball DOA game, the third one. Yeah, it's in a similar situation, I heard. The only real solution to translation localization is human with correct knowledge, principles, and passion for the source material. Yeah, but like again, there seem to be like none, and like I get that like the AI translation is not good, but like a lot of people would prefer translation that's like is not good, or at least it's subpar, but it's not trying to purposefully like turn the script into something it isn't. Because you've seen like the egregious shit that translators try to get away with, right? Not just the whole inserting their politics thing, but some translators trying to put memes in their translations, or like they don't even know Japanese at all and are just like winging it. I've seen cases of this happening. So again, like, I know that it's not good, but like to a lot of people it's better than what we have. It may be rough and like inaccurate, but at least it's not like actively malicious, you know? The harsh reality is that most of these games are never getting human translations. Translations projects can take an entire decade. Summon Night Trio on the GBA is still ongoing. This AI translation is getting more and more accurate nowadays. Okay, I already like addressed this. I know who would support AI translations if modern ones were good. The good translators who get to shoot the shit craft-wise with the machine and output at least 1.5 as much work. And that's a thing too. Like, obviously, it's not what people are doing because again, there are no good translators, or at least that seems to be the case. That feels like the case, but like if there were, like, AI could be used to speed up the process, you know. Well, it depends. It depends. AI stuff before we got probably big problem with woke translators. I'll ever have AI do it. Yeah, that's the attitude a lot of people have. Again, it's not that people like AI translation, just that it's the it's the least of two evils, you know. A better comparison instead of salt water would be like piss, you know? Like, sure, like, no one wants to drink piss, but it's better than just, like, that at least is better than just, being dehydrated, you know? Or, like, if I'm somehow wrong about that, then, like, dirty water, like, you get the analogy I'm trying to make. Or help from someone who knows Japanese. Sadly, I keep not finding anyone willing. 3 to 4 years is a fuck ton of time. To a lot of people, yeah, exactly. Then seeing that shit, don't toy with me, English translate is horrible. You know the worst part? Fans translations used to be a safe haven against that kind of BS. But even in that space, we're now getting people making malicious translations. Really? Like, can you tell me some examples? I haven't seen that actually. Oh wait, to someone... Okay. I already addressed this. Let's continue. Hell, if anything is way harder than English because the average person wouldn't use Japanese for their average day life. Willing to learn Japanese, but then you find a game in French, Russian, Finnish, and someone needs to have practice with something for them to actually learn it, etc. I'm still not recommending learning Japanese. I'm not recommending learning Japanese because I think it's trivial to do. I simply cannot in good conscience recommend AI translation. They just aren't good. And again, I understand. Like, I'm not blaming you for your points. I just want you to understand the points of people who would prefer that. Like, their perspective, you know? Bro, did she just spam you? Yes. Except the... Okay. Okay. I know Japanese. I read Witcher on the Holy Night before it was in English, but I kinda like English sub because it makes me more relaxed, more like open defendant you who cannot speak Japanese. Not all of us can. The CPU in the game became a tryhard, lol. And as a result, I had to become a tryhard. Anyway, they cannot read Japanese like you and me and some other anime fans. I agree. Even if you do know Japanese, there are lots of people, like my dad, for example. My dad can understand English, but he has to really concentrate. And he doesn't like doing that. So that's why he, like, most of the time, will, like, if it has, like, if it has, like, an option for, like, Portuguese, even if the dub is bad, or the subs are bad, he will still, like, get the Portuguese like language because it's easier for him. So there's that point too. Believe that AI translations is good enough or better these days because they don't know Japanese, so they can't do the comparison to figure out AI translation actually sucks. Again, like it does suck, but it sucks in a way that is less bad for these people than the what the translators are doing. Because again, AI translation sucks, but it's not actively malicious. That is the point. It's not good, although usually the issue isn't with the AI itself. It's more so the fact that there's no one to confirm the stuff with context. Again, that's because the circumstances we're in. Piss very bad. If drink it or see what you dry trying to survive on. Bad to drink animal blood compared to then choose choices. So I'll alter my comparison to that. They aren't good enough yet, but they're definitely getting better. And the only reason I can say that is because a friend of mine who can read Japanese has confirmed that for me. A lot of people have been saying that, yeah, as well. So there's that point as well. Even an objectively correct translation of a phrase will have it written differently, depending on the context of a situation. A lot of Japanese is about like wordplay. Have a ton of experience using LLMs to translate Japanese to English, so I'm extremely aware of just how much modification needs to be acceptable, and how wrong it usually is. One of them is a Japanese teacher even, so my words don't come out of nowhere at least. Yeah, AI needs more work, but it may be better in the future. If not completely changed, because guess what? Techno Break is a Japanese meme for that one guy who seemingly jerked to 30 times before he died. Okay. Okay. Let me see if there's anything like that's makes sense to address. Okay. There are countless instances in Japanese where it's linguistically ambiguous and can be only be correctly translated by a human if you know the context, which might not be in the same scene. For example, are you familiar with ReZero? Even knowing Japanese sometimes isn't enough. Knowing what the words mean on their own still isn't enough if you don't understand the idioms, or have enough discernment to even tell when something is an idiom. I think I know what you mean. That's more of a challenge to games with unique settings or out the ordinary elements in the script usually. Because a lot of people like need to understand that a lot of the examples we're talking about are much more fringe than people realize, you know? Most of anime dialogue is just basic bitch Japanese, which the translator can just find, you know? Like, not everything... Again, it's not that there aren't issues that should be, like, addressed and stuff like that, but a lot of it really isn't that complicated that the machine can't accurately translate it, you know? So there's that point too. Okay. I know, I think I know of it in passing, but not in details why. In ReZero, there are many terms which would ordinarily mean something completely different if it was any story except ReZero. Generally, any word with the roots, I don't know that, which an LLM is simply incapable of understanding unless somehow knows the context of the entire history of ReZero. We need to teach Japanese more English too, so they can translate the stuff themselves. That would be the best for now, to have Japanese know more Japanese to English translator that lives in Japan. That's a great idea, actually, Gamigan. And I think that's something we can all agree on. That's like, it would be better to get translators, like Japanese translators, that know English to do the translator instead of English translators, you know? I think that's a better solution that I think we can all agree on. So if we end this discussion anywhere, like, I think it is on the topic that the best solution we have right now is to, because a lot of people have been doing that, is why like people are using AI translations in the first place. Because a lot of people began going to the Japanese authors and saying, oh, look how much they're butchering your work. And the Japanese authors actually care. They actually are like, what? They're getting outraged, just like us. And they're taking measures for it. So, like, I think if there's anything we can take out of this conversation, is that we need to keep doing that, but we need to also encourage, like, Japanese people who know English to be the translators instead. For, like, those translators to, like, translate it to English for us instead of relying on the ones, like, overseas. I think that's a good middle ground solution, you know? But what do you think? Example, Marikin Online and the name of the species of the game being called Ikenuma, which is a slang that happens to sound a bit like swamp. Oh, hey, believe me, I know. I feel the pain of poor translation constantly when I watch anime. It's actually much more often than people who don't know Japanese realize. True. I saw like a Japanese person that was actually like pointing out that it's not just like politics and memes, like the translators are really bad, like in general, they get a lot of stuff wrong. Gummy Gun, this, we need to incentivize people more. If we made other languages an optional part of the curriculum at schools, we could spend less on AI translations nowadays. Okay, it seems like most people are agreeing with what Sun said, which, yeah, I do feel like it's a better, like, middle term. Speed sub and its consequences have been a disaster to humankind. Okay. Like, it's horrible putting words like Riz and other modern words. I don't like it with... yeah, exactly. I agree. For example, have you heard of the CD drama Konaka, who worked on Digimon Tamers, wrote for Digimon? He criticized cancel culture in that... fuck. In that special, and a fan translator latched out by vandalizing his own subtitles of a Digimon episode just to slander Konaka. Yeah, that's disappointing. Actually, now that I think about it, I had heard of this before. There was like a whole case of like a fan translator for Baki doing like something similar. Yeah, it's just genuinely frustrating. Calling him a right-wing conspiracist and stuff. Oh yeah, right-wing conspiracies is when like people point out what's happening in like actual reality. I fucking hate it. Like, it's why people don't take this whole, ooh, it's a right-wing dog whistle, because 9 times out of 10 is just a person making, like, a genuine, like, reasonable complaint. And it's the, like, you know what, this is getting too political. I'm not getting into this. Like, let's move on. I hate Sony and Crunchyroll monopoly. Hear about them getting rid of all physical copies and all their manga. There will only be merch. I hope Sony and Crunchyroll become... yeah. Like, I heard about this and... It's just very disappointing, honestly. And yes, that Konaka, who co-created Serial Experiments Lane. Reminds me of that part of my translation where there's a part where there was a trope of, oh, I'm not going to go. Or another person says, I'll give you 10. The first will say, let's go. Ah, okay. No, here's just a specific example. I believe the majority of basic slice of life situation typical anime is impossible to translate correctly without context understanding that LLMs can't do. I don't know if I agree to that. I'll be happy to teach the Japanese workers my language. Wouldn't that be nice? Like, in a lot of instances, you need the context and seeing the anime image itself. With just the script, the LLM can only read the script, not see the image. It's impossible to know the answer. Okay. It's a problem that shows mostly in Japanese compared to other languages that I know of, because it's a very ambiguous language which overly relies on context. That's fair. Even with images, it doesn't guarantee that everything. Too bad that where you live, it's like 5% people who know English in total population. Okay. Anyway, my concluding point is that AI translates not a solution to vandalizing localization, because it can easily tell an LLM to vandalize it for you. Like, just because the company which decides to censor or vandalize is using an AI now instead of a human doesn't mean they won't still vandalize it. It solves nothing. But again, that's the point. That's why it's better for like the Japanese to learn English instead, which is the conclusion that we got to. Because a lot of these translations are being made by the Japanese themselves, not by the Western companies that are using AI, but by the Japanese themselves, you know? And that's why a lot of people are in support of that. Hell, English is a mandatory, only 5% people know, what the fuck? Us true anime fans and Japanese anime fans need to work together to make Japanese translation thing happen. Again, I think that's a good solution. I would love for more English speakers to learn Japanese, and I always recommend that the opportunity. Not sure what else to do about it though. Think people find it's harder than it really is. Again, like, I think a better solution would be to have Japanese translators themselves translate into English, you know? Not just then using their, like, knowledge to translate from English to Japanese, but the other way around as well. I think that is a good middle-term solution. Here in Brazil, it depends on the school. Most of them make English mandatory, but it's not hard to find high schools that don't teach you. So, the thing is, in any language that doesn't use the Roman alphabet makes it harder to learn. There's also that.
休憩は終わりにしましょう。見てわからない？マッサージのあなたにもやってあげましょうか。必要。
But yeah, let's change the subject actually. Let me try to get something else. No, this. Okay. We kind of already talked about this, and yeah. Oh, that's an interesting story I can tell. Like, you guys know how we were talking about Agartha in like another stream, where I was saying that, for example, like I was asking people, oh, are you white enough to go to Agartha? And like Gummy Gun said, oh, I'm 90% white, and I said that, oh, that's not enough. Like, do you remember that conversation? Because a Fisher, like, she left the stream early, right? And so she couldn't participate in like that conversation. And so, like, since we talk in like private DMs, I decided to like ask her, no, are you white enough to like go to Agartha, right? To try to include her since she couldn't participate. And like she hit me with a like philosophical question of, okay, but like what is a white person, you know? And I was like, now you're asking the real questions, you know? Because legitimately, I don't fucking know. Like, like, I thought you just needed to be, like, European or American to be, like, you need to be a certain ethnicity of European or American to be, like, white. But apparently, like, for some reason, Italians don't count as white. So I'm just confused. Like, I legitimately don't know even what being white means, actually. So yeah, that was an interesting conversation. Another interesting conversation that we had actually is that there was this cosplayer that like a guy was like we were discussing this cosplayer also, that a guy was like surprised that she was an Asian, right? Because okay, I need to tell the whole story for like context. Essentially, there's this guy that went to a convention to find his favorite cosplayer, right? And when he found her, apparently, like according to her, like the first reaction that he had is that oh, like what? How did he say it? Oh yeah, his reaction was, wait, you're not Asian? Like, and I was commenting on how weird that was, because the girl isn't really, like, secretive about the fact that she's white. Like, she doesn't feature her face in her cosplays, so, like, you couldn't tell just by looking at the pictures, but she's very, like, open about the fact that she's Norwegian, right? Just as open as I am about the fact that I'm Brazilian. So the fact that the dude, like, was confused about that was a bit weird, you know? But then, like, a Fisher again hit me with a, like, plot twist. She said, oh, I know this cosplayer, and I actually didn't know that she was, like, I didn't know that she was white either. I also thought she was Asian. And I was like, why did you think she was Asian? And like she said, Oh, it's mostly because of her frame, but also it's because of how pale she is. And like, my question for her was that, wait, you thought she was Asian because she's pale? Like, isn't that the whole point of white people? Like, isn't the whole point of white people that they're supposed to be pale? Why did that make you think she was Asian, you know? So yeah, that was just a funny conversation that I had. Anyway, people just discussing translation again. Speaking of Digimon, does anyone here have a favorite season? I love them all. It's hard to say a favorite one. Okay, and some seem to act like Asian is white adjacent. Those are the worst types of people, yeah. Civilization that believes in God, I would say what being white is. I don't think that's a good definition, Gamigan. Data Squad savors, but I confess a mix of nostalgia and hype for seeing a normal human punch Digimons in the face, lol. Like, Jesus Christ is God, okay. I think that white, deep down, okay, beleza. Anyway, I love off-shoulder kimonos. Dude, I can't get enough of this game's costume design. It's like heroin. I mean, it has pretty good, like, very good, like, costume design, yeah. I agree. If you guys had to eat bugs, what bugs would you eat? Ants. Crab. You know what? That's a great response. A good one. I see. This attack, Flying Kiss from Haruka, designed to have a higher chance to hit you because you don't want to dodge it. I think Beat Breath is becoming my second favorite. Don't you have a favorite already? The problem is that, like, while I watched a few other ones, the one I'm most familiar with, the one I watched the most is, I think, Digimon Tamers. I don't remember if that's the exact, like, I don't know if that's the exact name, but, like, it's the one with the dudes that has, like, red, dinosaur-like, Digimon, you know? That's the season I'm most, like, knowledgeable about, and so it has to be my favorite by default. You know? I'll take the oppression points, it's crazy, though. Tamers is the one with Gilmon, the red dino. Okay, so that's the one, like, I'm talking about, yes. Minori is out of sweets. We have to give her our popsicle quickly. The debut anime of Renamon. Yeah, it's the one with Renamon too. Yeah. That's the one. Gilmon, yeah. Like, I have, like, the red, not Agumon. Yeah. And, like I said, like Akira said, the one with Renamon. Yeah, that one. It has to be my favorite by default, kind of, yeah. Where is it? Where is it? Would you rather smash Taiga from Toradora or Tanya from Saga of Tanya the Evil? Taiga, easily. Like, if I say something that Tanya doesn't like, there's a fair chance that I'll just die. Taiga, at least I'll just be punched in the face. Oh, wait. Wait, son, you wouldn't date a 40-year-old man in the body of a lolly? Not very woke of you. Not very progressive, if I do say so myself. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. You made the meme too easy. This I kinda need to leave for like that, so only if the 40-year-old man is myself, making Tanya forget she was a man. Anyway. Honestly, even not considering that, I never really understood sexualizing Tanya. Like, I just don't think anything about her sex, even though she's a great character. A lot of people really like the military lolly aesthetic. That's why. Okay. And his lolly self has to be Latina, Asian, or Eastern European. Specifically Eastern. Minori's underwear looks like a bikini. True. And that's very sexy. Anyway. Let's say there is someone that loves you completely and will do anything for you. However, this person has no genitals, no breasts, and no butts. Okay? Essentially a robot. Would you? Yes. Because, like, you have to understand, like, I don't know if I ever said this to anyone, but, like, there's nothing more, like, unattractive to me than dick, you know? Like, that's why if I had to choose between, like, a woman that is, like, super masculine, she has no breasts, or, like, and she, like, essentially looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Essentially Arnold Schwarzenegger with a vagina, right? I would still choose that over a fanboy, because, like, dick is just that unattractive to me. So as long as there is no dick, like, I'm good. Let's say we die and we were a woman in the past, became a guy. Would that mean we're still a woman if we became a guy in the next life as a woman? That's a whole, like, conversation that I really don't want to have right now. I always knew you were goated. Would you what? They have no genitalia. What are you gonna do? Smack your Zoc against the metal hole? Do you not know what love is, son? Like, I don't need to have sex to, like, love a person, you know? If they are that goated, like, I really just don't need it, you know? Anyway, generic. I remember when they announced they would reboot Digimon by making everything one universe. I'm glad nothing came out of it. Anyway, yes, especially that. Anyway, you can't just say that after Dude literally made a movie about being pregnant. Oh wait, what? What do you mean, Dude made a movie about being pregnant? What are you talking about, Akira? Just install a Wood Force 2000 FX. Shaking my head. That's a good solution too. one sec, I have to adjust something here. One sec. Okay. Oh, yeah. The other topic I want to talk about actually is like, oh yeah, I was talking about that wood. Is this not an expression that means to have intercourse with someone, like it stands for wood smash? But even in that case, son, like, there are such things as like boob jobs or tit jobs or whatever. Like, if I can't like penetrate or whatever, we can find some other way, you know? Like the famous quote of like Jurassic Park: "Life finds a way," you know? That's my attitude towards it. You can't just say that after dude literally made a movie about being pregnant away. Arnold. Okay. Anyway, but the thing I wanted to talk about actually is like, what's the name of it? I don't need a goal to score. Now Merlin has the right attitude. Then I'll get a Naizuri. Fuck it. But anyway, the point I wanted to make is that, like, I'm for the next point, I'm going to have to get kind of political. So, like, I really hope you guys can be like mature about this, okay? I really hope you guys can like not make a big deal out of it and like not turn this into an issue, you know? But like, I saw this meme that I think it summarizes my community very well, right? Which is like a meme that, well, to explain it first, I need to explain like some context, right? I know it's not like cute or like interesting when I do it, because obviously I'm some like OG son. Like, it's not like with Shondo, right? Because Shondo, like Fallen Shadow, also does this, but it's cute when she does it, not me. But I'll be honest, I straight up stalk you guys on social media, right? Like, if you have a Twitter and you follow me on Twitter and you watch my videos, like, I know your political takes. Like, I know everything that you post, I know what you goon to, I know everything, right? Because I just straight up stalk you guys on social media. And it's because I stalk you guys on social media that I really identify with this meme that I saw. That was like, if Black Souls had a fan meeting, and like an IRL fan meeting, right? And it was an image of like a Nazi, some dude with a MAGA hat on like the right side of the screen, and on the left side there was like what's the name? A dude with like a trans flag shirt and a communist, and they're all looking at each other because they're all Black Souls fans, like, and they're just looking at each other and they're like, well, this is awkward. And like, I genuinely believe that this is like what would happen if we had like a fan meeting of the people that are fans of my channel. And I mean all the fans, the people who like mostly the like image posts, the people who like the videos, the people who are here on stream, right? if we had like a fan convention for the obscure anime channel, like that's how it would feel like. Because that's how diverse some of the political takes I've seen are. Like, I've seen straight up communists in my community. I've seen people who are more center left, some more center right people. I've seen some literal, like, anarcho capitalists. Like, I've seen fucking everything, you know? Like, I genuinely believe there's like a fan of mine on like every point of that political like square, you know. So I really identify with that meme. It was super funny. Again, that's why I asked you guys to be mature about this, because I don't want anyone, you guys going at each other like dogs, because now you know, oh, someone I don't agree with might be on this chat, you know? The heck, there's communists here, it's time to hunt the Reds. Oh my god. Please, dude, come on. Like, I get it, but like, I'm literally asking you guys to be like mature about this, like, please. Have seen a fan either right or left like me. Yeah, there are quite a few centrists too. Like, again, there are people, I've seen people on every side of the political spectrum here. That's what I was mostly commenting on. Man, I beat her like all on like base form. How communist is communist? Fucking ugly Reds. What do you mean, like, how communist is communist? Like, I'm not talking about like people who just have like left-wing beliefs. I mean like full-on, like, genuinely believe in communism. You know? So yeah, like I said, it's not just I've seen people from pretty much every political like opinion here, and I just find that funny, which is why I identify with the meme, which is why I'm talking about like wanted to comment. Is a man not entitled to the worth of his crop? Communist or libertarian, they're in the question. Again, we're not like actually going into politics. The point of this was just to be funny. I guess we got some fans love the USSR theme in the read Karl Marx book. Like, are we talking tankies? Now, which flavor of communist? Like, that I don't know. Like, I just know that they supported it. I don't know what flavor of, like, that they were. Again, like, you know what? Like, let's stop this conversation now. It really, I don't want this to get out of hand. I genuinely, like, was just saying that because I thought it was funny. I really don't want this to get out of hand. We are doing numbers. What do you mean we're doing numbers? Oh, that's pretty cool. And yeah, we're leaving like Shiki's personal story for later. For now, I'm just going to finish yeah. I'll address you guys shortly. First, I will be like finishing the story, like for Yumi, and then I'm going to address what you guys commented, and then we are like ending stream. Okay. So cute is justice then. This new concept has shaken me down to my bones. Yes, that's right. Cuteness is the answer to everything. It's really quite simple. I can't believe I never realized it before. Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome all new viewers. Like, I hope you stay and go on other streams. We have fun here. So yeah, welcome all the new lurkers. If you're cute, anything you've done can be forgiven. If you're cute, you can comfort everyone around you. If you're cute, you can soften the heart of humanity and inspire world peace. The hell? What a wonderful concept. Cuteness can do anything, literally anything. Finally, I found the truth of it all. There's no time to lose. Righteousness awaits. I put on a frilly dress and turn around in front of a mirror. Cute indeed. The dress fits me better than I expected, which makes me feel wonderful. Even my own cuteness makes me happy. My appearance is certainly cute enough, but perhaps I should change the way I talked. This is brilliant. I can feel myself growing cuter and cute. No, that's just cringe. Like, the dress was okay, that is just cringe. You and me? What are you wearing? I find Chiki standing next to me. Oh, hello, Chiki. I found out how to be white. I'm cringing so much having to read this. You just have to be extra cute. Like me. Kill me. Kill me now. What? Yep. I made if 100% cuteness. Clearly, I have grown cute enough to stun even Chiki. Cringe. Cringe. Have become a living avatar of righteousness. I shall fear nothing. Meaning, I shall feel nothing. Come on, Chiki, say it with me. Cute is justice. Guys, help! Yumi's gone like Cyclesville. That was so cringe. Ew, just ew, dude. Anyway, moving on. Let's address your comments. Anyway, I say it matters what gender you're born as a man. The next night you're now a woman. I say you're a woman because born one, so it does not really matter if you remember past, but you stay one. Okay, I remember that. I think it was from the last evolution Kizuna OG plan. Man, the writers really want to destroy Digimon with those movies. That's my view on Tanya. I don't need a chest or butt or thighs or even a mouth. I will go in no matter what. Now that's the true Guna right there. Obscure yandere. So what are my political takes? I'd have to like do a bit of a review. I'm going to have to find your account. I'm pretty sure I checked it, and I can kind of guess if I'm being totally honest. But I need to do like a review on it. It's a good thing I don't tweet. Good thing I don't have social media. Then no way, why not seeing my Higurashi channel on YouTube? I have. Like, it's just that we didn't have time to react to it like recently. But again, we're going to have a react stream too, so we're definitely going to get to that. Oh, I think I saw that one. You know what I goon choo? Yes, I do. Degenerate. Something Venn diagram something. I've seen a version of that meme with Team Fortress 2, Nazis and furries. Buddy, the heck, communists here, it's time to hunt the Reds. And then a portal from hell opens and Fallen Angel joins the group. A good one. Anyway, I already addressed this. I would be able to watch Hibari and Minori having a picnic together for hours upon hours and not get bored. I think most people here. You can just tell the moment Hibari hijacks Sun's thought process. Anyway, fuck that. Difference is smile in a way versus provoke, which an Imperial system is an Imperial system either way. Anyway. We're already talked about this. Well, China communism at least has sexy girls in the games, unlike the West. Much as I hate censorship, I don't think that's a good trade-off, personally. Since we're going to a very political direction, tell us who has the weirdest taste for Goon material. I think we already established this. It's Teto. Like, Teto is the most degenerate person here. Like, by a mile. Like, Akira can't even compare. Got Vladimir poster. My ideology is Jesus and the Bible. It's sad to know you probably won't be able to you won't be playing Marikin online someday, unless you like talk to anyway, as I was saying, unless you like play RPG Maker games in general. Marikin Online is actually made from the same RPG Maker as Black Souls. I do. It's more rare these days that I do that, but I do still play like RPG Maker games on stream. Like, people can confirm that. I even have some plans to play some of my personal favorites in the future. So we could get to that at some point. Like, there is hope, you know? Also, yeah, still going to be a loli and anime fan at the... Anyway. VXAs? Yeah. Her dress is good, though. Her dress is very good, but the dialogue is cringe. Teto scares me. I would second Teto. Anyway. But yeah, Teto is definitely the most degenerate person here. Let me put my politics in a weird way. Please don't. I'm trying to get out of, like, that topic. Well, I'm making a translation in Portuguese, though. Like,
Kawaii wa seiki. Pretty?
The problem is that I would need, because I can't understand Portuguese, right? Obviously. So I would love to play your translation, but unfortunately we need to, like, play it in a language that most people here understand. So unfortunately, if I did play it, it would have to be in English. If you do play it, should I give you an English version or Portuguese version? English. But yeah, for today, we're going to be ending the stream here. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to all the new lurkers that came. Hopefully you stay. We have a lot of similar content to this that we stream regularly. And we're just going to keep streaming this game. It's actually going to become like a... much more frequent on the channel. So if you're here just for that too, like, you get that type of content. But yeah, for now, thank you all for watching, and bye. Definitely, Akira. Very well, I have it in mind. Plus, it's actually 3 games. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So yeah, we'll get to that in the future. But for now, bye. You stream once every week? No, I stream 3 times a week. I stream like on Thursday, on Saturday, and on Sunday. In fact, we're going to have a stream tomorrow. See my last 2 things. I already seen them, like, Gamigan. I know that you dislike how China, like, censors gamers and things like that. Like, don't worry, I've seen it and I agree. Okay, but for now, bye.